So I wanted to talk to you briefly today about the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre. But it's not about the actual massacre that took place at the actual school. It more about the family, the Lanza family, and what happened to the family home afterwards, and context to why can't we do this with more homes. So this all came to light after an article that I was reading that was done by the Wall Street Journal about how the federal government has a program that has been in place since 1929 to help communities, cities, and major metropolitan areas get rid of what is called blight. Blight objects or industrial or commercial enterprises. This has been used countless times and maybe have been used even in your area. The city takes control of, and maybe in a series of abandoned warehouses, maybe it's an abandoned mall or strip mall or something along those lines. Maybe whatever it may be. It can even be a series of homes that have been run down and have been declared unfit for human occupation, and they come in and they tear them down and then they redevelop it, or at least make the property available for somebody else to develop on. It's been used, for a lot of good, and yes, it has been used for ill purposes as well, just like any federal program. But these are grants. The city never has to pay the money back to the federal government. It's part of the economic and redevelopment package that every community in America can apply for. So after the Sandy Hook Elementary shooting, the Lanza family, what to do with the Lanza family home? Now, we have to remember that Adam Lanza, the shooter of at Sandy Hook, killed his mother first off in the home. She was the first victim that day, shooting her at point blank range right in the face, killing her instantly. Then he went to Sandy Hook and carried out the horrific events that he carried out there. But what to do with the Lanza family home? Well, the bank didn't know what to do with it. They certainly didn't think anybody was going to want to live in it. They tried successfully to package it in with other debts and sell it off to another bank or investment group. And these things actually happen a lot more than you would probably understand or want to know about. But they tried to get rid of the debt. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted to touch anything, even in a package deal on pennies on the dollar for what was owed on the mortgage of the home. Nobody wanted that home. The neighbors didn't want the home to be there anymore, especially after what took place at the elementary school. The police department was sick and tired of having to go there to chase trespassers off of the property, to stop people from having rituals on the property. And you can probably figure out what kind of rituals these were. But they didn't want the property. The bank didn't want the property. The city didn't want the property. Well, what are we going to do with it? Are we going to let it sit and just decay and then slowly fall into the earth, and become a hazard to, within our community and drive property values down? Well, the city didn't want that, because the city, when they get money, ladies and gentlemen, they like to keep on getting the same amount of money forever and ever and ever. They don't want to take a cut in pay. They don't want to have to actually rebalance the budget ever. It's a lot easier just to keep on spending more and more and more. So they went to the city, and the city and the bank, the bank going to the city and said, we don't want this house anymore. We want the tax write-off on our federal taxes that we have owing for the value of the home. We get that tax write-off. You help us get that tax write-off for all of this, and you can have this home. The city doesn't want it. Nobody wants the house. So the city said, fine, we'll take the house on the condition that we're able to get the federal grant to get the house bulldozed and removed, and and then we'll with through the federal blight program through the um, redevelopment. If we can do that, we'll take the home. We can't get that, the house is on yours again, and you can't take the tax credit until afterwards. Well, it all worked out in order. Boom, 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 boom. All the pieces fell in line. Well, the bank got their write-off. The house was demolished because the city got the grant. And then, with the money that was left over, the city put part of it towards the redevelopment and up of the some of the landscaping, and to redevelop the Sandy Hook Elementary School. The rest of the money they took and decided we'll never have a home on this lot ever again. Instead of turning it into, another home being built on the lot or something else happening with the lot, they went out and paid an arborist trees on the property to make it, well, not beneficial for anybody to want to come in and cut down 400 trees in order to put another home on the property. And they dead nailed all the piping, that went to the sewers and everything else, and filled them with concrete, so they'll never be usable again. Even if somebody wanted to put a home on the property, no power, no electricity, no plumbing for the city, for the property at all. So my question after reading this story in the Wall Street Journal was the following: why can't we do this in Fredrick, Colorado? Why can't we do this with the Watts home? The only thing that is stopping that from actually happening there is the bank. Yes, the bank wants to not only be recouped for their actual what they have owing to them, they want to profit on it, since the actual property has gone up in value since the Watts murders. They want to be compensated at that level, not just what they had into the home at the time that at this tragedy. They want to be compensated plus, and that's not how the program works. You can't compensate them. They can't say, well, you know what? We have $300,000 into this property. We would like $500,000. That's not how it works. You have $300,000 owed on this. We can get you $300,000, but we can't get you more, because it would violate the actual terms of the blight, agreement with the federal government. The city of Fredrick is more than willing to bulldoze the home and turn it into a small park for the community, which would increase the home values on each side of the home, and directly across the street and directly behind the house. All of those direct properties would go up in value. Along with, it's a lot easier to sell a home in the area, not that they're having any problems, but it's a lot easier to sell a home that's just a half a block away from a city park. But the bank is refusing to play ball. They want to sell the property for a profit. And this bank, ladies and gentlemen, is a bank that you own part of right now today. And with your tax dollars, you bailed them out during the banking crisis, and then again during the housing crisis. Your tax dollars kept this bank in business. So how do you feel about that? Let me know down in the comments section what you think we should do, to make this bank, want to play ball and have the Watts family home torn down and turned into a park. Thank you very much for joining today. You stay safe out there.